Hey guys, welcome back to the Great Ball League Challenge recording thingamajig that the Southern Islands are doing. We figured if TPC ain't doing it, we will do it for them instead. So this is going to be a new series, so if you guys want to see this to continue on for the rest of the Great Ball League challenges, do let us know in the comments below, and do let your shop owners know as well. For those of them who are hosting the Great Ball League challenge, I believe coming up soon, we're gonna have sit at the active games collection at Agora Hobby and whatnot. So once again, let us know in the comments. Let us know. Let the shop owners know as well if they are keen. If you guys are keen on seeing content like this, we're gonna go straight into the game. We have Wayne playing Lugia V-Star and CIA playing that Raging Bolt. So we have Wayne going first, perfect for the Lugia setup. He does just attach a gift energy to the Squawk ability before using Squawk and Seize. He does manage to find two Lugia Vs. Oh, and we do see actually the Archeops in the discard pile as well. So this is prime position for Wayne to just evolve his Lugia V into Lugia V Star and use the Primal Turbo ability to summon the Archeops to the field, so that he's going to be able to use Primal Turbo and charge up the engine. That's exactly what Lugia wants to see in turn 1. On the other side of things, we have Tia who does already use Squawk and Seize, discarding away a whole ton of energy cards into the discard pile, but does manage to find Ogerpon, 2 Ogerpon, 2 Nest Balls, so he's going to find Raging Bolts, as well as the Greninja on the field. He uses the Concealed card to take to discard 1 energy to draw 2 cards, and then uses the energy retrieval. Wow, that one Squawk and Seize really just got Tia going. Manages to use Heal Dance again. So that is 2 Teal Dance, but he just passes. There's no supporters this turn, which is super unfortunate for Tiaya, as typically we do want to see Raging Bolt attack straight from turn 1, or rather turn 2 when he starts second. But going on, he just passes over to Wayne. Wayne does use the Capturing Aroma, and he gets a Tails, so that's a basic Pokemon on the field for Wayne. He does evolve double Lugia V-Stars onto the field, does manage to use the Summoning Star ability to get the Archeops on the field. He's going to be able to retreat the Squawk ability thanks to the 1 gift energy attached to the front. But with the engine online, we just simply expect to see Primal Turbo charge to that Lugia V, and the Tempest Tide knockout onto the Squawk ability. This is a really, really good position for Wayne to be in at this point in time. For those of you who are unaware, Primal Turbo allows you to charge 2 special energies from your deck to any one of your Pokemon. Let me see Wayne do that with the 2 Primal Turbos onto the field. Just take the knockout and Squawk ability and just goes on to Jia. Keep in mind that this is a best of 1 format that Singapore is going through right now. So if players just break and lose, unfortunately, they will have to just immediately lose that match. So we do see TIH having to have an uphill battle basically. As you know, his deck's only filled with 2 prizes, and there's no single prize attacker going on to Wayne's side. Or rather, that he can use to promote to attack with attack Wayne. He does have the Slither Wings, I believe. But we'll see whether he does if he's able to use that. So we see the Professor Stardust being used to charge up 2 basic energy cards to 2 of his ancient Pokemon. And from there, he will be able to draw 3 cards. So we saw him using that. We see him use the Earthen Vessel to take out 2 cards. So he can discard 1 card to take out 2 energy cards from his deck. Puts it into his hand. And he just hand attaches to that Raging Bolt in the front. And from there, he was going to be able to use his, I believe, second attack. And he just takes a simple knockout. So for every energy that he discards, he will be able to deal 70 damage. So 4 energy cards equates to 280. Perfect damage for that Lugia. So now both players are at a 4 prize turn. We see Wayne promoting up the Minccino into that Chinchino and then evolving it. So that means he's going to be able to swing for 280, because very similarly, actually, Special Roll does 70 damage for every single special energy attached to this Pokemon. So what that means is that Wayne's going to be able to use Primal Turbo and just destroy, just attach energy to that Chinchino and then just destroy that Raging Bolt. Keep in mind that with the Bravery Charm, Raging Bolt does have 290 HP, so that would mean that Wayne needs a total of 5 energy cards onto this Chinchino. So we do see 4 energy cards, and we do expect to see a hand attached coming from Wayne here. Oh, wait, no, he just uses the boss's order to take out the back Raging Bolt with the energy, without the Bravery Charm. So that is a 2-price swing for Wayne. So this is 4-2. Wayne is just 1 knockout away from taking this game home. So yeah, just looking through the cards, making sure that he understands what each of the special energy does. And he is not in a good position right now. I mean, the thing is that if he's gonna need to take out this Chinchino, but the thing is, by taking out this Chinchino, he doesn't get anything thanks to the Legacy Energy. Legacy Energy reads that this energy, the Pokemon that this energy is attached to, takes 1 less prize. So if Chinchino is a single prize attacker, by duffing out the Chinchino, it takes 0 prizes actually. So this is a really horrible spot coming out from Xiaoya. And if Xiaoya does take the knockout on Chinchino, Wayne still has the Lugia V-Star and the Ursaluna to take a swing on whatever is at the front. So yes, this is exactly what Xiaoya needs to do. He needs to find that Slitherwing and attack with it this turn, but he is also going to need a Professor Sada in order for him to actually charge up the Slitherwing with enough to use his first attack, which is gonna be the second attack, which is gonna deal 120 damage, which is just enough Burning Turbulence, I believe, to take that knockout on the Chinchino. He does find the Sada, so he's gonna need the Sada to attach 1 onto the wing and 1 onto the Raging Bolt. From there, be able to draw 3 cards, and hopefully draws into that switch card or that switch option which he may play. He does have the switch card in the hand, so he's just gonna simply take, actually, first of all, take 2 grass energies back from the discard pile with the energy retrieval. Use Teal Dance to fill up his hand a little bit more. He does have that Bravery Charm, so he is going to choose. He can add additional 50 HP to any basic Pokemon that he attaches that to. Uses Teal Dance once again to draw 1 more. He is looking for the Fighting Energy, which he does have in hand, so that means he's going to be able to attach that Fighting Energy to the Slitherwing and use Burning Turbulence to knock out the Chinchino, and which will force actually Wayne to find that boss's orders. But the thing is that Lugias typically do play that Luminion, so Luminion will be able to find that last prize, or rather the last gussing option on Wayne's side, assuming that he still has them, because we do see the boss's orders being thrown away earlier from that Squawk and Seize. So we do see a Tails being used for the Capturing Aroma. Is that just going to be the Luminion for the boss? He is gonna find. So I'm eyeing the Luminion slightly earlier. He does eye the Luminion. He does find the boss. He's ensuring that he has enough energy cards, because the thing is, Ursaluna's ability allows him to attack with 1 less energy card under the field. So that's 220, taking a knockout on that Teal Mask Ogerpon, which results in Wayne taking that first game of round 1 for the Great Ball League. This is Brian from the Southern Islands, and we are here to review all the Great Ball League matches that have been played in Goodness Gracious games this past weekend. If you guys want to see more of these recordings, please do ask your local card shops which are holding the Great Ball League challenges over the next month or so. Right, so this is a series that we aim to do for the rest of this season. So once again, if you want to see more of this, please let us know in the comments, as well as let your shops know that you want to see more of this, so that we can go down and do these recordings on behalf of the shops as well, I guess. So this is the first Great Ball League, and what is at stake is the Pidgeot EX Great Ball League promo, as well as points, which lead people to the World Championships of Pokemon. We do not know yet what that point threshold is going to be for Singapore, but yep, that is pretty much the introduction. So we're going to go right into it. This is the second match of the day. We see Terry playing his famous or infamous Goldango, as well as Farrell playing the Lugia V-Star. So for those of you who don't know, and as we can see, Farrell is starting first. So for those of you who don't know, Lugia V-Star is a very, very strong deck. It's been very, very strong since the beginning of its, printing. Right, and we see a fabulous start already. This is what every single Lugia V-Star player wants to see. Ultra Ball, Archeops, Archeops. All right, so for those of you who don't actually know what Lugia V-Star does, he has a very powerful Summoning Star V-Star ability. What that allows him to do is that once a game, right, he's able to flip that V-Star counter and use Summoning Star to summon two colorless Pokemon from your discard pile to the bench. Typically, this is paired with the Archeops. So Archeops is typically a stage 2, and you have to do a stage 1 evolution from the Fossil into the Archon? Yeah, Archon, there we go. And then you get evolved into the Archeops. But the thing is that with the Summoning Star, it allows you to skip all that and go straight into the Archeops. Archeops has the powerful Primal Turbo ability, which allows you to charge up to 2 special energy cards from your deck to any Pokemon on the field. Extremely, extremely strong, and we see so many different variations. I'm likely seeing the Chinchino variant that Farrell is playing, as we do see that Minccino on the board. He just attaches a energy and passes. This is a very, very strong start for Farrell. As Terry, being a setup deck with Goldangle, is not going to be able to boss out that Lugia for the knockout. So we're going to go into Terry's turn. Terry just has to attach an energy on the Gimme Goal, uses the Urban Vessel to find 2 more Metal Energies, benches a Pheasantipity, which is really, really, really early, but this tells me that he does not have anything else, so he's benching it to make sure that he can stay in the game. So Terry uses Continuous Coin Toss and gets a Tails, so he gets 0 damage onto that Minccino. So this is a really, really bad start for Terry, but the question is, can he pull through? He does drop the Pokestop and absolutely whiffs. I think he gets the Earthen Vessel, from it. So at least that is something. But Farrell doesn't seem to be having too hard of a start either. He uses the Capturing Aroma and rolls a tail. So Capturing Aroma allows you to flip a coin. If it's a heads, you get to find a evolution Pokemon. If it's a tails, you find a basic. So Capturing Aroma here would have been great if you found a heads. But oh my gosh, he also whiffs the Pokestop. He gets 3 energies off it. He just retreats the Minccino and attaches a gift energy on the Lugia, and he just read the wind. Read the wind allows him to discard 1 card from hand and draw 3 cards. So this gives Terry a window of opportunity to come back into the game. Terry does use that Hyper Aroma, so he does draw out 3 stage 1 Pokemon. He evolves his Gimmigoo into Goldangle, draws 2 cards with the coin bonus ability, and from there actually manages to draw a Nest Ball, which is absolutely great for Terry at this point in the game. Terry doesn't just shuffle through his deck. He does now have a gimme. He does have a Goldangle, so he's gonna be able to attack. He uses Pokestop, discards Arven, the Dunsparce, and something else. Manages to find a energy retrieval, and he is considering to attack with Make It Rain. He does use Make It Rain to take his knockout. Farrell does draw I think 2 cards from the gift energy. So gift energy allows you to draw up to 7 cards once a Pokemon has been knocked out with this energy attached to it. He does eventually use that Great Ball to find his Chinchino, so he is gonna have his main attacker that's gonna be coming up right now. So this is a pretty okay position for Farrell to be in at this point, but he does want to find that Lugia V-Star. So if he does not find that Lugia V-Star, he is in for a world of hurt. Second Great Ball, does he find anything? And he is looking at his hand for a very long time, so that means that there's no Lugia V-Star. He finds the 4th Lugia V, which is absolutely tragic, as he's not going to be attacked. He's not going to be able to attack this turn. He may be able to bench Lugia V as a secondary Lugia V, at least so that he can evolve into Lugia V. So, okay, great. He finds the Ultra Ball, but he does lose the Thornton and the boss's orders in the process. So he's not going to be able to get that back. He uses the Ultra Ball to find the Lugia and the 4th Archeops. And this is going to allow him to use the Summoning Star ability. So we should just see a Summoning Star right now. Of course, these players are going to have to shuffle the cards. And once again, Summoning Star finds the 2 Archeops. And he's going to be pretty happy with that, right? So he benches the second Chinchino for Minccino, as a backup option for another attacker after this. And we will likely just see, I believe, another Dark Primal Turbo onto this Chinchino. So for those of you who don't know, Goldangle actually has 240 HP, if I'm not wrong. So Chinchino does 70 damage for every special energy attached to this Pokemon. So this means it's 70 times 4 is 280. Even with the DTE being minus off there, he's still doing 260. But the question is, does Farrell have a way to switch out his Lugia? He does. He manually attaches the double turbo energy onto the Lugia and then retreats that. So he's going to be able to swing with the Chinchino for a 2-prize knockout this turn. But before that, he does use the Professor's Research to discard away the Blood Moon Ursaluna as well as the Wellspring Ogerpon. So this means he's going to have a fresh hand of 7 cards. But he does bump the Pokestop with the Mezagoza, fails the gets the heads on Mezagoza. So that means he's going to be able to find a Pokemon from his deck. Doesn't matter if it's basic or if it's evolved. So this is really, really good. It may actually help Terry later on, as he does need that Goldango later. He does swing with the special roll attack for the knockout, and that is putting Terry in a very precarious situation. He does draw 3 cards off the script, so he's able to do that once one of his Pokemon got knocked out the previous turn. He does find a Buddy Puffin to fill up his bench. He's likely going to find a Dunsparce, I believe, as well as another Gimmighoul. Oh, wait, nope. I like that. It's a Spiritomb and a Dunsparce. Spiritomb, a little bit late to the party, as it only affects basic V Pokemon. But he does use the coin bonus to draw another 2 cards, so that is a total of plus 5 cards in Terry's hand right now. He needs, I think, 2 energies, or 3. He needs 3 energies to take a knockout onto this Chinchino right now. Or rather, 3 energies. So he does find the 4 energies, and he uses it, swings. He takes 1 prize off that, and that brings it down to 3 prizes. It's to 4 prizes onto Farrell's side. Farrell does have a secondary attacker, but I believe from this position, Farrell is not going to be able to come back, I think, as we see him evolve his second Minccino into the Chinchino. He's going to see the charge up. It's all standard stuff from here. So these 2 matchups are really interesting, right? Because it's all about managing resources. So Gonzango needs to be able to find energies every single time to attack, but Lugia needs to make sure that he has enough energies in the deck. So the question is whether Farrell has enough energies to swing for the Goldango, right? He needs a total of 4 energies in order for him to take out a knockout onto that Goldango. Or rather, 3 energies if he's aiming for the Pheasantipity, which is a really good call, as it limits Terry's options right now. So we're going to see a special roll, I believe, to knock out the Pheasantipity to limit the number of cards Terry is going to draw. And this is a really, really good play because you're limiting his draw options. But you are also not taking out the Goldango, which is fine because he should have a second or third Goldango to evolve that Gimmighoul up. Alright, so we do see the Goldango being placed down. We do see Superior Energy Retrieval to take up all 4 of his energy cards. He is going to use coin bonus to draw 2. Sees what is he looking for here? He needs to take a knockout onto this Chinchino, but he also needs to stop the legacy energy, which is what he does. He does use the Temple of Sinnoh to bump that stadium and to negate the effect of special energy cards. So this means that Terry can draw that last prize, which he needs, or rather, not the last prize, but the 3rd prize, which brings it down to an even 2 and 2. Farrell, as we can see here, is counting his energies, which actually shows me that he thinks that he's running out of energies. If you see here, there's 4 gift energies, that's 3 missed. I see 1 DTE energy. This is getting really, really, really close for Farrell. I mean, he still needs to promote his Pokemon, so he's basically counting to see how many resources he has left in order to attack, and whether or not he's going to be able to attack with that Chinchino. He does opt to promote the Archeops in the end. He lifts his finger, but I think it's pretty chill here. Terry's okay with that. He's going to let that pass. So Farrell does use the Primal Turbo ability, looks at his deck, and realizes, I think, that he is completely out of energy cards right now. He's still thinking on this first Primal Turbo ability. He's looking through his deck. He's seeing if there are any ways out of this. Keep in mind that all Farrell needs to do is take that knockout onto the Goldango. He only attaches 2 energies onto that Minccino. I think the last Chinchino may be prized. So he's looking through his options once again. But if he does not retreat this Lugia here, This is gonna be fatal. All Harry needs to do is find a switch out option. I believe he has enough energies in his hand right now to take that knockout. He's going to use the dance bus run away to draw 3 cards, and then he's going to shuffle the dance bus back into that deck. A very interesting tech option into the Godango as he's just drawing so many cards. You know, 3 plus the 2 from the coin bonus plus the 1 from the 1 in the back. That is a total of 6 cards. That's some quick math for you right there. He uses the superior energy retrieval to take back the 4 energy cards, and he attaches 1, and he just takes the knockout with a massive Make It Rain attack. Good game, boys, and we are done for that game. We're gonna see you guys in the next one. Take care. Welcome back to round 3 of the Goodness Gracious Games Great Ball League. Great Ball League. So once again, what is at stake? People are trying to compete for the exclusive Pidgeot EX with the Great Ball League stamp, as well as points, which is the most important thing for players aiming to go to the World Championships for in 2025 in Anaheim. So we do see here the Charizard EX versus Iron Thorns EX. This is pretty funny. I mean, right from the start, we see actually the Charizard EX having to do that. The mulligan. Typically, we do see the Iron Thorns doing that, but instead, it's the Charizard's turn. So we do see the game starting up. Noel does pick up the first turn. So right from the get-go, Jinxian will have Iron Thorns in the front. I mean, this deck only plays that 4 copies of Iron Thorns, so we typically do see a lot of mulligans coming up from this deck. Noel's in a bit of a predicament as Iron Thorns ability actually just stops all abilities of your opponent's Pokemon except for future Pokemon. So the thing is that if Charizard EX doesn't run a future Pokemon, which fun fact it doesn't, all the abilities are actually gone. So Noel is gonna have to operate with no abilities, which in a very ability heavy deck. I honestly don't know what Noel is actually gonna do. This is a favorite matchup, I believe, for Junxian. Noel does find a Duskull with that Ultra Ball first, actually. And from there, he is just going to have to pass. So the good news is that Junxian is not going to be able to actually attack during this first turn. Typically, we do see Iron Thorns needing 1 turn to set up, so they're simply just going to attach a Lightning Energy, and then we'll likely see a DTE coming the next turn, and just attaching that DTE to the front to do 120 damage. Just a little bit of damage, which is typically on the low side. But from there, it actually just is enough because the opponent's just not going to be able to do enough, right? So we see Juntian playing that Arvin. He finds a not Techno Radar. He finds a Turbo Energize, and he's just going to attach that to the front Iron Thorns to charge up the back Iron Thorns. So Turbo Energize allows you to search out for 2 energies in your deck and charge them to any of your benched Pokemon, which is exactly what he's doing right here. So he just passes back to Noel. Noel is just gonna use the Arvin to find, I believe, he's trying to figure out what to find, and I think he's likely gonna find, oh, he has the Canceling Clone. That's huge, because Canceling Clone actually stops Iron Thorn's ability, in the front of this for just this turn, right? So then he's gonna be able to use Iron Thorn, any kind of abilities for just this turn. So he does use the Canceling Cologne, and he just evolves. He has Rare Candy Charizard in hand, evolves the Charmander to Charizard, attaches 3 energies to his the Charizard EX. Why 3? Because Iron Thorns also plays Crushing Hammer, right? So if he gets heads on that, he's going to be able to discard energy. So this is pretty smart from Noel, and he just takes a very slow punch to the face, I believe. So that's 180 damage to the Thorns. But Thorns with 230 HP is going to be able to survive that hit. Junjin does use another Arvin to find the TM Devolution as well as the Crushing Hammer, which I guess you could say is kind of crushing for Noel, as all he's gonna need to do rather is just evolve, to just Devo, or rather hit the Charizard this turn, and then Devo. But no, he opts to Devo right now. So Noel is in Struggle Town, right? He's not going to be able to use that Charizard EX right now, but he does have a Rotom +4 Seal Stone Seals, he is going to be able to find one of any card in his deck, and he chooses to find a rare candy to evolve it into a Charizard. So once again, he is going to be able to take the 2 prizes off this first Iron Thorns. He does also play the Iono, so it refreshes his hand. We do see another rare candy and an energy in his hand this turn. But will he be able to do anything else? He opts to just take the knockout, which I believe is the right play here. Iron Thorns, Junxian does place the Lost City, and all he needs is 1 energy to attack with his Volt Cyclone. Attack instead. Oh, sorry. He does play the Iono to kind of refresh everyone's hands. He does manage to find a second Thorns. He does use Crushing Hammer to knock out 1 energy from the Charizard EX. He just attaches 1 more energy to the front, I believe, and he does swing for 140 damage. So yeah, he uses the Volt Cyclone, of course, and 1 energy card needs to go from the front Iron Thorn to the back one, which is perfect for him because all he needs to do is find a double turbo on energy, which he does with this Chorus's Tenacity. But the question is, does he find another stadium? Does he have another stadium? The answer is no, so it's just going to be for that DTE. The DTE is going to be charged up to the front, and we're going to see Volt Cyclone for 120 damage. Keep in mind, Charizard is a very thick Pokemon, so he is going to be able to take through at least 2 hits. 3 hits is going to take a knockout on him. So the question is, will he be able to take a knockout on this Iron Thorns? Unlikely. I mean, both Iron Thorns have been fully set up right now. So Noel is not in a good position at this point in time. He needs to set up another Charizard at the back, or at least Charmander this turn, in hopes of maybe evolving it into Charmeleon. And then from there, we may have a fighting chance to come back. Noel is eyeing the Charmander right now, which he's going to be able to find with a Buddy Puffin or a Nest Ball. Ideally, he does have that Buddy Puffin, so he can search up for 2 Charmanders. So he has the Buddy Puffin. There we go. We do see him looking for a second Pokemon. He plays the Luxray as well. That is such a sneaky tech. Likely targeting, I believe, that Lugia. Or even a Palkia that we see very often nowadays. That's a very, very interesting tech coming up from Noel. We do see the Buddy Puffin and the Defiance Band being chosen. He does find that Charmander with the Buddy Puffin. He's putting both Charmanders down, which is really, really smart. But the question is, will he have the Charmeleon, or is the Charmeleon still in his deck for him to actually evolve that next turn? It's going to be very, very slow. He burned, I believe, 2 rare candies already. So this is not a good position, I think, for Noel. So he does have the Charmeleon in his hand. But without attaching an energy on the Charizard, he just passes, and Junxian is going to be able to take the knockout with that Volt Cyclone. And things are not looking good for Noel right here, as he has uphill battle climb, I believe. That's 2 prizes down. That's his main attacker down. Nothing else for Noel to kind of push through with at this point in time. There's no alternative attacker. He just evolves his Charmander and Charmeleon. He just passes. Junxian uses the Pokegear, finds the Arven right now. The Arven is looking for that Pokemon catcher. And that future boosted capsule. Oh, wait, no. He opts to find the Prime Catcher for that guaranteed knockout onto that Charmeleon. That's very, very smart as well, because he has the Lost City in play. So he does do a Prime Catcher, the Charmeleon, and he just takes a simple knockout with the Volt Cyclone. And keep in mind that all the Pokemon that Junxian has just knocked out are in the Lost Zone thanks to that Lost City. At this point in time, things are looking extremely, extremely dire for Noel, as he does not have a Charmeleon left. He does not have easy access to that rare candy, and even if he does manage to evolve his Charmander into Charizard, at this point in time, it's going to be 2 turns before he's actually able to take the knockout onto this Iron Thorns. So he just promotes the Rotom, and he just passes. So Boss's order just get used by Junxian. He bosses out the Charmander, and because this deck only plays 3 Charmanders, I think Noel has no outs left. So he's looking at his Lost Zone right now. And Noel's not gonna concede. He's just gonna take the damage, and he does find out. He just realized that there's no point in continuing this game, as all his basic Pokemon that is going to be able to evolve their Charizard has been knocked out at this point in time. A good game for Noel. It was really, really, really close. I think just one or two things that could have gone his way, like the crushing hammer not hitting the heads. But things are unfortunate. It's a really good meta call from Junxian. We're gonna be seeing a couple more games, so do stay tuned from him. As we're gonna see the Iron Thorns back in action in the very next game. Stay tuned. All right, guys, welcome back to round 4 of the Great Ball League happening at Goodness Gracious Games. This is going to be a Charizard EX versus an Iron Thorns EX. We have Devanesh, who who actually came back from playing the regional a little earlier this year, actually. And we see Junjian once again with the Iron Thorns. The match is starting. Oh, we see Iron Thorns starting up against Devanesh's Manaphy, which is an absolutely atrocious start. But the good news is that Devanesh does have the Buddy Poffin, so he is going to be able to find 2 basic Pokemon. Likely going to be the 2 Charmanders, as Pidgey is kind of useless here, as you're not going to be able to use Pidgeot at all for this matchup. So we do see just the 1 Charmander coming from the hand, as well as Buddy Poffin being used, and a secondary Buddy Poffin being used as well. So this brings 4 Charmanders down to the field. I take it back. So Devanesh actually uses the Pidgey this time around as well. So we do see 4 Charmanders and 1 Pidgey, which is highly unusual coming out from the Charizard EX deck. And over to Junxian, we do see him play the Arvin, the Turbo Energize, and the Techno Radar. So Techno Radar allows you to discard 1 card from your hand to find 2 future Pokemon from your deck and put it onto the field. So this allows basically Junxian to fill up his board with Iron Thorns as and when he needs to. He likely just needs that 1 Iron Thorns though. I wouldn't find too many, as too many can actually be a detriment, as Devanesh can just use the counter catcher or a gusting option like a boss's orders to pull up the 3rd Iron Thorns, which doesn't have any energies, which brings a little bit of pain, I think, to Junxian's plan. So Junxian does use the Turbo Energize. Once again, 1 energy cards allows you to search up for 2 energy cards from your deck and attach it to any one of your Pokemon and your bench. So it's just going to be a simple 1 for 2 energy trade on Junxian's side of the field, which is perfect. Right, so with this, Junxian is ready to go for the next turn as long as he's able to find the double turbo energy. Over on Devanesh's side of the field, we see him play the Arvin to find the Ultra Ball as well as the Forest Seal Stone. He uses the Ultra Ball to get rid of that Pidgeot as well as the counter catcher. And I believe he is going to just find a Charmeleon. Yeah, we go. So the reason why he finds Charmeleon is so that that Pokemon, that specific Charmander or Charizard does not get affected by Devo too heavily. As if Junxian does use the Devo, the Charmeleon is still going to be there, so Devanesh can just place the Charizard onto the Charmeleon once again, and he has a ready to go attacker. Wow, Junxian actually managed to find the Colossus Tenacity to find the Double Turbo Energy and the Lost City. So he does use the Volt Cyclone to take a knockout onto the Manaphy, which puts Junxian into the prize race at this point in time. Devanesh chooses to evolve the Pidgey. To promote the Pidgey. Places a Luminion V as unable to use that limited sign to find a supporter as the Iron Thorns is on the field, but he does use the Luminion V to attach the Forest Seal Stone, which allows him to find any card. And this Forest Seal Stone does work under the Iron Thorn's ability, and he is going to be able to just find Iono to use Iono to refresh his hand, hopefully draw himself into that Charizard. Or an Ultra Ball, which he does find. So he's going to use the Ultra Ball to discard the Pidgey, as well as maybe another Ultra Ball. If not, Red Candy actually doesn't look like a bad option, to be very, very, very frank. But he just chooses to discard the second Ultra Ball to evolve the Charizard. So now, even though Charizard is not going to be able to use the ability, he does is ready to go for the next turn. But he does land a Crushing Hammer head. So Charizard is going to be 2 turns behind before, or it's going to be 2 turns before Devanesh is going to be able to use the Burning Darkness attack onto that Charizard. Junxian really just hitting everything. Manages to find, I believe, manages to hand attach the electric energy from his hand, uses the Arven to find, I believe, the Prime Catcher and just whatever random tool card he wants. In this case, it's going to be the Future Booster Capsule, which allows him to pivot his Iron Thorns for free as it's attached to a future Pokemon. That Pokemon does not have a retreat cost, which is absolutely busted, I think, when it comes into this Iron Thorns deck. So he does attach the Future Booster Capsule to the front. Iron Thorns does a retreat and takes a simple knockout onto that Pidgey, which goes into the Lost Zone thanks to Lost City. Devinesh just uses the Iono to try to disrupt Junxian's plan, going a little bit too much, too far, too fast. But it may be a little too late. At this point in time, he managed to get 2 Charizard on the board, but with no energy. Devinesh is not going to be able to use any kind of attack. I'm guessing he does not have a Canceling Cologne, so he's not going to be able to use a Canceling Cologne to kind of evolve his second Charizard. And yeah, he just passes from there. Junxian using the Judge to completely disrupt Devinesh's hand. So it brings it down from 6 into 4. Devinesh does have the Professor Turo, which is not too bad. But with the Pokemon Catcher's flips heads, Junxian is going to be able to Volt Cycle for 120 onto Charizard. Keep in mind, it takes Junxian 3 turns to take a knockout on 1 Charizard. So in this 3 turns, Devinesh needs to charge up the back Charizard in order for him to be able to take knockouts back to back to back with his Burning Darkness attack. But the question is, will he have enough energies? We do see 2 energies coming out in his deck. The question is, will he be able to find it in time? Keep in mind, he needs to attach an energy every single turn. He cannot afford to whiff it. If he whiffs it, he's not going to be able to take a knockout on this Iron Thorns, and Junxian is just going to run away with this game. He does give a pass. So this is really, really, really bad coming up from Devinesh. Just keep in mind, I said he needs to attach an energy every turn, and he just whiffed it. So Junxian chooses to use the Arven to find that TM Devolution, and uses the TM Devolution to take a knockout onto that front Charizard as it had 120 damage to the front, and puts that Rare Candy, the Charizard that evolved from that Rare Candy, back into Devinesh's hand. So it means that Devinesh needs to find another Rare Candy to evolve the Charizard. Junxian's plan is really, really taking over at this point in time. The good news for Devinesh, though, is that the Charmeleon is not in that Lost Zone. So he is going to be able to use that Super Rod should he have it to shuffle the Charmeleon back and prepare for a secondary Charizard. We see him actually manage to land that Rare Candy, uses the Arven to find 1 tool and 1 item card. Likely going to be... honestly, there's not much options right here. So he finds a Lost Vacuum and a Hero's Cape. Onto that onto the Zard, and the Lost Vacuum to remove the Future Booster Capsule, to remove 1 pivot option from the back Iron Thorns, which is, I guess, Thorn on his side, but that has been removed, so that's one less thing that he has to worry about. Junxian does replace the Lost City, the Temple Center with 1 more Lost City, and from there he just happily takes a knockout. So Junxian is really just whittling Devinesh's resources down, and without any kind of energy. And look, Devinesh just doesn't have an energy in hand, so it's really, really bad for him right now. As even with the Hero's Cape, it's 4 turns that Junxian needs to attack. And if he plays a secondary TM Devolution, it's just absolute disaster. As he's going to be able to just take a knockout on that 170 HP Charmander. Junxian uses the Colossus Tenacity. Finds the Colossus Tenacity from the Pokegear. Unlikely going to use it, as he has all his DTE on the board already. He does do 120 damage into the Charizard, but keep in mind, Devinesh still needs two energies, and he's not being able to find any of his energy cards. And with the Lost Vacuum, he's going to be able to remove that Hero's Cape. So it's just 2 more turns for Junxian to take out the last 2 prizes on the Charizard. Junxian uses the Iono actually to refresh Devinesh's hand, which is fairly interesting. Because he needs that 1 more electric energy. Without that electric energy, Junxian's not going to be able to take another attack. So this buys Devinesh 1 precious turn. He just attaches and passes, finds the Future Booster Capsule from the Arven that he just top decked, and it's likely going to be maybe a Crushing Hammer. Yeah, there we go. Crushing Hammer to crush Devinesh's hopes and dreams from, and by removing that one more energy card, he does roll a tails. So there is some hope, I think, for Davinash. Manages to retreat that front Iron Thorns that was a little bit stuck there, and it's just going to Volt Cyclone away. Yeah, look, at this point in time, the Devinash is going to be able to take a knockout onto this Iron Thorns. Let's boss the one in the back. But I think with one more Volt Cyclone, that is going to be game. But we should see one more Judge being played down a little bit cheeky towards the end, I suppose. But it will likely just be a Volt Cyclone for a knockout, I think, onto this Charizard. Oh, wait, no, he survives. Wait, does he survive? That's huh. Now that may be a little bit strange. I'm not too sure why he survived because it means he got 330 HP with the Hero's Cape gone. But you know, the numbers there are a little bit hard to see, so I'm not actually able to confirm what's happening here. But the thing is, I think Devanesh is not going to be able to take 4 prizes as he had, as Junsen does have a second Iron Thorn set up at this point in time. So yeah, it's with nothing else, Devonish just scoops and calls it GG for the Iron Thorns. Nothing much that he can do once all his energies and his arts have been removed from the board. So that is it for this game. So I'll see you in the next one. Welcome to the grand finals of the first ever Great Ball League happening at Goodness Gracious Games. Here we do see Terry, who is playing his Goldango versus Jun Xian, whom we've seen for the past few matches playing that Iron Thorns with the powerful initialization ability. So Iron Thorns versus Goldango. Oh, wait a second. We've seen a mulligan coming out from Iron Thorns. Which is actually pretty common. Just for the past few games, I think Chusian has been really, really lucky finding only 1 out of 4, sorry, 4 out of 60 of his cards are actually Pokemon. So it is a very, very slim chance for him to actually have a Pokemon in starting hand. But we finally do see a mulligan coming out from this Iron Thorns. So as we see Chunxian finding his Thorns, that's the second mulligan right now. Let's talk a little bit about this matchup, right? So Iron Thorns here stops Goldango's ability, coin bonus, right? So Iron Thorn's initialization blocks all Pokemon that have a rule box, block all abilities of Pokemon that have a rule box, right? So the thing is that it stops Goldango, but it does not stop the Dunsparce. Because we saw Terry actually playing that earlier, which is massive, I think, in this matchup, right? Because the Dunsparce does not get affected by initialization. So Terry's going to be able to draw that 3 cards from the Dunsparce's ability. I believe it's called Runaway. And from there, actually fill up his hands from that side. So as long as Terry's going to be able to find and bench the Dunsparce into his bench every single turn, he is going to be able to have that essential, I think, draw power that Goldango so much needs, right? And on Goldango's side, it's very simple. If he's going to be able to draw, if he's going to draw out using the Dunsparce, he needs to pray that every single time he draws with the Dunsparce, he lands that superior energy retrieval. Because the thing is that make it rain basically requires you to discard an energy card from your hand. And for every energy card that you discard in this way, I believe it does 50 damage, right? So it's a pretty good attack. But you need to constantly have energies back in your hand. So this deck plays a lot of energy retrievals, plays a lot of earthen vessels, plays a lot of superior energy retrievals in order for him to pick up the cards that he discarded using Make It Rain's attack. So we see here already Junxian actually hitting into 6 mulligans. And keep in mind that once you hit something like 8, I think then we have to do the judge draw. Oh, but never mind, it's all good. We do see him finally have his Iron Thorns in his field. So Terry draws for that 6 mulligans. And his hand is starting with 13 cards. So it's just massive here. So we see Junxian actually starting first now. We do see him using that Techno Radar to discard a lightning energy from his hand to find 2 Iron Thorns. Which is very interesting considering that As I mentioned earlier, you typically don't want to overbench your Iron Thorns in case you get gusted and stop, right? So over here we do see just a simple energy attachment to the front and a pass from Jintian. Terry is going to need to fill up his bench, which he actually manages to find using the Arven, right? So we're likely gonna see the Buddy Poffin here. And maybe okay, we saw earlier. We saw the TM evolution, right? So it's likely gonna be Buddy Poffin, TM evolution. Buddy Poffin for I think 2 Gimmighoos or maybe like 1 Gimmighoul, 1 Dunsparce. Oh, he finds 2 Buddy Poffin. So that's gonna be like what 4? Yeah, so three Gimmighoos, 1 Dunsparce. And this is like the perfect setup for Terry at this point in time, right? So it's gonna allow him to use evolve both of his Dunsparce into the Dunsparce later on and just draw 6 cards from there. And if he doesn't have his Godengos. So we see him use the Urban Vessel discard. I think it was an energy. Maybe I saw wrong. Oh, he uses the TM Evo. So he's gonna evolve 2 Pokemon from his deck. Sorry, 2 Pokemon on his bench from his deck. So it's gonna be a Godengo as well as the Dunsparce using that team evolution, which is super, super smart, right? So it guarantees Terry that he has 3 cards, 3 cards from that ability of the Dunsparce, which is not Runaway because that is definitely longer than just Runaway here. So Jinxian seems like he uses Pokegear to find the boss's orders. I believe he was looking for Chorus's Tenacity, which he doesn't seem to have in his hand. So it's just going to be an attach of Turbo Energize, and it's going to be just the charge up, I believe, on to the bench Iron Thorns. So we see 2 Lightning Energies being attached. Yep, and it's just going to go all the way back to Terry. So this is beautiful because he also has the Hyper Aroma, as we see here. Right, so Terry is likely going to use the Hyper Aroma to find another the Dunsparce, or maybe it's just going to be 2 Godengos. So you see a manual retreat from Terry, the Dunsparce into the Dunsparce, and we also see another. Wow, which he just has everything. I mean, he had a 13-card hand, so Terry has a huge advantage at this point. So he uses the first the Dunsparce to draw 3 cards. He's likely looking just for more energies, I believe, or more ways to find energies. We see another the Dunsparce being used, just runs away. And he has now just an absurd. I believe he has like 1/3 of his deck out at this point. Next one to find the Dunsparce. Yep. So the Dunsparce's ability, what it does is basically allows you to shuffle the Dunsparce and Dunsparce and basically any cards that's attached to this Pokemon, shuffle it in his deck. After he draws 3 cards, right? So he draws 3 cards and then he shuffles the Pokemon in his deck. So you see Terry using the Earthen Vessel to take out 2 energy cards. So for Terry to take a knockout onto this Iron Thorns, he needs to discard a total of 5 energy cards because it's 50 times 5 is 250, and Iron Thorns has 230 HP, right? So Terry is gonna need to find that last, I believe, energy. I see 4 energy cards in his hand. We see him using the Arven, so which allows him to find the Rigid Band as well as the Night Stretcher. Night Stretcher is definitely going to find that last energy card. But seeing that he's found using the Night Stretcher, it feels weird that I mean that just tells me that he's probably prized quite a few energy cards at this point in time. And for those of you who are unaware, Rigid Band allows Pokemon that's attached to the stage 1 Pokemon, sorry, that's attached this tool is attached to take I think what 30 less damage. From attacks, right? So that basically allows to go Dangle to take I think 3 hits from this Iron Thorns, which is massive. So we do see Sada being used from that. Not Sada, but Professor's Research being used by Junxian. And from there, he's just going to use Volt Cyclone to attack to do over 90 damage for this from this Volt Cyclone, which is really, really, really tiny. Oh wow, Cypher Maniacs is huge for Terry as he's gonna be able to find 2 cards from his deck and put it at the top of his card on the top of his deck. And it's gonna be massive because he's gonna be able to use the Dunsparce to draw 2+1 of those cards that he selected to put on top. And from there, he is just gonna absolutely run away with this game because he's just gonna use Superior Energy Retrieval to take 4 energy cards back from his discard pile, which he used earlier. And he is playing this so carefully. He knows exactly what he needs to put inside his deck. He shuffles back the Arven as well as this Cypher Maniacs with the Pel Pad. And from there, he's just going to use, once again, Make It Rain, knock out onto that Iron Thorns. And thanks to Junxian's own Lost City, actually goes into the Lost Zone at this point in time. Junxian's not looking too hot at this point in time, manages to find the Crushing Hammer as well as the TM Devo chooses to try to buy some time, especially because he had some chip damage onto that front Godango already. Junxian Terry making sure that he's managing to that he has all the pieces necessary to take out the knockout on that last Iron Thorns. And with that, Terry is your first Great Ball League champion. And keep in mind, Terry actually won. I think it was in the finals of the Premium Ball League Challenge. So Terry is off to a fabulous start in this season. Congratulations, Terry, on your Pidgeot EX. Congratulations on your points made. And I will, guys, stick around, and we will see you guys in the next Great Ball League if Daimonji would like to have us there. Thank you guys so much. Take care.